560 WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Jarrett from Indianapolis. How you guys doing tonight?
Hanging in there, Jarrett, man. Just trying to figure it all out. What you got?
Well, I appreciate this forum that we can go on and we can all gripe and moan and air out our frustrations. But I am absolutely fed up with this fan base. I'm fed up with just the ignorance. 2018 should have been the last day that Chris Greer ever worked for the Miami Dolphins. Was the day that Stephen Ross wanted to draft Lamar Jackson. And Chris Greer said, nope, we're going with Minkah Fitzpatrick. And if you don't like it, fire me. Well, that should have been his last day, because from that moment on, he has proven he has no idea how to evaluate talent. He has no idea how to select, how to draft, how to trade. He has no idea who to extend, who not to extend. He has no idea how to work the salary cap. And he has put this team for the last 25 years in positions to be unsuccessful. Look, I don't think Tua is the problem. Tua is a very talented quarterback with extremely good head on his shoulders. He has great timing. He makes great decisions. The problem is the team that's been built around him is completely flawed. It is absolutely the worst offensive line I could possibly imagine, and it continues to stay bad every year. Last year, he extended Austin Jackson for some unknown reason. Liam Eichenberg continues to play. He hits on one guy and he lets him go. It's just unbelievable how bad the decision-making is. Look, I like Tyreek Hill. I think he's great, but when he's all you've got offensively, because your offensive line cannot give your quarterback more than 3 seconds and cannot open up a hole for a running back, he's going to be ineffective because he will be able to take him out of the game. Odell Beckham, terrible decision. Can't get River Craycraft to do anything. Braxton Barrett's like, what's wrong with our backup quarterback situation? I saw a stat today that Tim Boyle threw 1 touchdown and 14 interceptions in his college career, and that dude's still kicking around in this league and losing games for us. I'm here in Indy. I was at the game in Indy. It was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. So I am just fed up with this fan base thinking that our problem is QB1 when it is absolutely not the problem. The problem is the GM. Our head coach did great for a year, but he is not a head coach. I don't even know that he's an offensive coordinator because his play calling is awful. He has been figured out. It's easy to stop this offense now, and he has no answers. So the problem if you had an Andy Reid with Tua, this guy would be a multiple MVP because he is just like the Drew Brees you guys were talking about earlier. He is not a big arm guy, but he is a very good quarterback. So that's all I want to beef about. Yeah, the game was frustrating. Yeah, I'm tired of Chris Greer. And if that guy makes another selection for this team, I don't know what I'll do. But like I said, 2018 should have been his last day, and thanks for letting us vent, guys. I appreciate you.
Jarrett brings up a good point for all the people that say Tua is trash or not good. If you put him with Andy Reid, I guarantee you would be seeing unbelievable things from Tua and the team that he is leading. I still think Tua might be getting a good combination. You're just having a rough year right now. 305-567-0560. Back to the phone lines, 560 WQAM. Hello.
Hey, what's going on, Gameday? How's everything, brother?
I'm feeling all right, man. What you got going on?
Let me tell you something. I've been a Dolphins season ticket holder for 10 years, since 2014. I went through the Rant time, and now I'm going through this era of Miami Dolphins football. Spent over $5,000 on season tickets in section 142. Thought that this team was turning, they're turning the page. It was going to be a team that was going to potentially stop being the little brother of the Buffalo Bills and actually win the freaking division. And then we go into this game. Actually, we go back to the Green Bay game where we had that muff punt by Malik Washington.
Yeah.
I called a best buddy of mine and I told him, hey, this game is over. Why is this game over? Because the reason why, when you have seen Miami Dolphins football, mind you, I was born in 1988. When you see those type of mistakes, just to start a Miami Dolphins football game in a big-time game, they end up losing. Now, you go to this Houston game. Let me tell you, I know Tua wasn't the problem in this game, but he wasn't the solution either.
No.
I believe that. Go ahead, Dan. My bad.
No. I'm going. Grieber disagrees. I don't think he was the solution. I don't think he was the only problem, but he did throw the ball to the other team a couple times.
Yeah, and to me, I felt like he was too. I believe his nerves might have gotten the best of him. I think he was nervous. There is a particular play in the fumble that he was doing the little happy feet dance, like he didn't know what to do with the football.
No, his offensive line was letting guys through like it was a turnstile.
Yeah, but this is why we blame Chris Greer. This is why I told my representative, hey, I'm not renewing. Wow. And he goes, hey, let's our starting quarterback has been out 4 games. Let's see what happens the rest of the season. I'm like, listen, this is the general manager's job, not my job. You guys get paid the big bucks to make these decisions, to win big-time football games, starting by winning the division, winning big games during the season, a la Green Bay Packers, Buffalo Bills, and now the Houston Texans. And now we're sitting at 6-8.
You bring up a good point. And what's our biggest win of the year thus far?
Against the Rams, I believe.
Yep, against the Rams on Monday night. Against the Rams, at the time, a team that was either at 500 or right below 500. That was our biggest win of the year on a Monday night. Wow. It seems like every time we've been asked to step up, we just have not stepped up, and we just didn't make plays. We just did not make plays. Don't know what the answer is. And you're hearing for Andy. He said right there, he's not renewing his season tickets. Enough is enough. And if you're a Dolphins fan, that's your prerogative. You have the right for that. And they're not giving you a lot of reasons to file into the stadium because, Grieber, we've broken down how expensive it is to go to a Dolphins game between travel, parking passes, food, drinks, time. It's not cheap. We're talking hundreds, maybe even over $1,000.
Oh, it's definitely not cheap. And you're definitely not getting your money's worth over there right now with the product that the Dolphins are putting out right now. You know, going back to what he just said, I'm sorry, but if your quarterback gets 1 touchdown in a game and gets you a total of 12 points, 3 picks, I'm sorry, but that's a problem.
It's hard to win games that way. It is hard to win games that way. 305-567-0560, 560 WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
Listen, I think we need to get rid of Chris Greer. I'll keep Tua because we stuck with Tua, we stuck with Tyreek, but Chris Greer needs to go.
Somebody needs to go.
The one. We need a new GM to come in to make the decision about the coach and the future of that team. And Stephen Ross needs to stop winning the offseason and put somebody in charge that knows football. Stephen Ross knows construction, but he does not know football. So we need football people to deal with the football operations of the Miami Dolphins.
Now, be careful, though. Now, if you get a new general manager, that new general manager may come in and want to cook with their own groceries. So you might be finding yourself in another situation where you're having to rebuild. Are you okay with doing that?
I'm okay with the rebuild because I'm looking at teams and, the Dolphins are never patient. I look around the league and I look at coaches that came from the Dolphins. Look at the Detroit Lions. They had Dan Campbell, but they weren't patient. Dan Campbell wasn't a big flashy name. But now look at the Detroit Lions now, and look at the Miami Dolphins. We should be ashamed of ourselves.
Yeah, the Texans, look, they were part of the rebuild. The Texans rebuilt after us, and they've already turned things around. Won a playoff game last year, and now going to be back in the playoffs again this year. Remember Laramie Tunsil? We traded. We got all their guys. They were in a rebuild. They turned it around quicker than us, and today they proved it once again that they turned it around quicker than us.
Exactly, and that's why Chris Greer is the common denominator of all our failures and minimal successes. So we need to change the GM and bring somebody in that actually know what they're doing because Chris Greer his time has passed.
It does seem like there are some fundamental problems with the Dolphins because you don't you don't go on a 25-year playoff win drought without there being some deeper problems than just personnel and coaching. 305-567-0560, WQAM. What's your name? Where you calling from?
All day, Dan Day.
Yo.
Love when you're on the show, dude. Hey, man, the biggest frustrating part about all of this is you can't really put your finger on what the solution is. I mean,
I agree
with you. Tua is good, maybe borderline great. I will challenge you in that I don't think he's elite for one simple reason. He's very accurate, but he doesn't have the one thing you want your quarterback to have, and that's killer instinct, bro.
Yeah.
That's what your Patrick Mahomes have, your Josh Allen's even. Those guys, when the game is on the line, they put the team on their shoulder, and they go out there and they get you the win. And for as good as Tua is statistically, he just doesn't have that. And I don't know if that's something you can be taught or learned, because that's really the one thing really that's missing from his game. The other thing, if you remember when Mike McDaniel, I think his first game coaching for the Miami Dolphins, he had some, I don't know if this is radio appropriate, a ballsy call on fourth down toward the end of the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Tyreek came out after the game and publicly stated that Mike McDaniel was going to need a wheelbarrow to tote around his junk, right?
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, ever since then, his junk shrivels up when the game is on the line. Like he gets it, like the spirit of Dave wants that run, punt just takes over, and he gets so conservative that I don't think he's the future, just based on the simple fact that when the game is hanging in the bounce, man, he doesn't go for it. And I want to call your attention to one play, and you tell me what you think about this. I want to say it was late second quarter, maybe. We had the ball. Tua was flushed out of the pocket, and he was rolling to his strong side, going to his left. So it's not like he was throwing back across his body. He way overthrows Tyreek for a first down.
It went way out of bounds, correct?
Yeah, and that's the one where, if you notice, this is what kind of ticked me off about Tyreek Hill as well. He ended up kicking the ball. Like, if you can get your leg out there to kick it, I need you, for the money we're paying you, to dive and get that first down, number one. Number two, for as much trash as Tyreek talks, and I love him, okay, I love having it on the team, you can't let somebody take the ball out your hands on the last drive like that. You've absolutely got to up and get that play.
Yeah, I did notice Tyreek Hill kick the ball, and I found that very odd. I thought maybe there may be some frustrations that are boiling over that aren't being talked about in the media, that he's frustrated. That was a really bad pass from Tua Tagovailoa. And you're right. If you're a leader of men, you're a leader of a team, and you need plays to win games, and the ball is in both of your hands, you cannot let someone take it out of your hands. And I know the guy had momentum and he could have pulled it. You got to go out there and you got to be strong. But that's the difference between winning big games and losing big games, right there.
Bro, what's that, $350 million right there going back and forth with each other? We got to make that happen, man.
You got to make it happen. And you have actually talked me into this. You're right. Tua, I'm going to take back the elite status that I gave him, because elite quarterbacks find ways to make big plays in big games and win big games. That's why you see Patrick Mahomes 4th and 3 in the Super Bowl. You have no doubt that he's going to get it. You find guys, Joe Burrow a little different this year, but Joe Burrow, you have every confidence he's going to make a play. Josh Allen, at least in the regular season or in the postseason when he's not playing against Patrick Mahomes, you're like, man, they're just going to find a way to do it. Tua gets you
don't know how it's going to happen, but you know it's absolute. They're going to get it done, man. And that's what we don't have. But I agree with you also. It's like, to move on from Tua would be to what? There's so much unknown that you almost got to kind of roll with it. So we'll see what they come back with next year. Dan Day, boy, it's going to be a rough one for you with Joe Rose in the morning, man. I'll be thinking about you, dude.
I appreciate it so much, man. Much, much love. That's true. All these guys that we talked about, the elite quarterbacks, make big plays at big moments. Tua, Dolphins, get the ball. 1st and 10, minute 44 left on the clock. Drive the field. You can tie the game. What happens in the first play, Robert Grieper?
It's not good.
Interception. And that's the one Tyreek Hill had in his hands. I think both of the guys shoulder some blame for that one right there. 305-567-0560, 560 WQAM. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Dan Day.
Yo.
Hey, it's Cap, bro.
Cap, good to hear from you, man.
Listen, man. Look, I'm not gonna get into a soliloquy here, bro, because everything pretty much that I've preached all season, the fan base is starting to say now. But my thing is, I need to hear from Houdini Hawkman, bro. Houdini Hawkman has a way of getting out of a jam without answering for his crimes. That guy compared this quarterback to Dan Marino. And respectfully so, with everything that's gone on today, I hope the Barge is okay, bro. I didn't want to see that happen. But for that to happen, for Tua to get strip sacked, fumble the ball away, throw 3 picks, I've never seen Dan Marino do that in December. I'm sorry. I might have maybe a vague imagination or a vague memory of what happened when Marino was here, but I've never seen that before. So for Mark Hoffman to compare Tua to Dan Marino, bro, you need to answer for your crimes, and I hope someone brings me the comedian soon and answer for his crimes, bro. The guy never takes calls and gets away like a magician, bro. So that's one thing for me. So the next thing, I'm not going to get into it about the scenario going forward because the game's not over yet. We got 3 games left. But mark my words, when the season's over, you're going to hear a lot of what I have to say in regards to what we're going to do next, because all you're hearing now from the fans that are getting calls to renew their season tickets last week, coincidentally enough, they want to know what the hell is going to happen this offseason moving forward.
Cap, we've had a lot of people
not being listened to. I mean, we got a scenario where the fans aren't being listened to, but they want their money. And I just hope that this radio station sticks to their guns and starts listening to the fans more, especially tomorrow morning on the Joe Rose Show, because I think now more than ever, I think Joe's going to have something to say, and I think it's going to benefit the fans. Cap, I would hope so.
Season ticket prices keep going up and up and up, and our playoff win numbers do not keep going up and up and up.
No, they don't.
And we've had a lot of people call this show all season long saying this is it. Last year for season tickets, they're done.
Look, they're giving us a premeditated soft rebuild. We knew this going into the season, and that was wrong. Now that the product on the field is not getting up to what we were being fed, bro, you're telling me that we're going to have to be stuck and going like quicksand the next season and we have to live with it? Do you think that's right for the fans, DDay?
No, it's not. It's not fair. It's not fair to the fans.
So why are we going to be – we're going to get so much mainstream media pub from this front office representation, being the beat writers that have relationships with the front office. That needs to stop as well. People need to start calling out, because right now it's national. It's being seen right now, bro. Like, at this point, we're stuck with the quarterback. It is what it is. But you're telling me right now you paid everybody else and we have to live with the product on the field now?
Cap, you know me, you know Grieper. We're not beholden to anybody. I'm not scared of anybody. I'm not looking for press passes.
It's about right and wrong, DDay.
No, I'm agreeing. I'm about being transparent and open. So if a fan has something to say and wants to come on this show and say it, because they've been following this team since
nobody should be wrong for saying that the scenario today with the quarterback was bad play and the blame is supposed to be solely on him. If there's going to be more accountability today, I hope the quarterback takes it. But at this point, it's deeper than that. At this point,
I think everyone shoulders a little bit of blame today. Everyone, from the kicker to the quarterback to the receivers to the coaches to the special teams to the defensive. I mean, Jalen Ramsey's had some tough times this team. Everyone shoulders responsibility in wins.
Yeah,
everyone shoulders responsibility in losses.
You know that, and I know that, and everybody that's calling right now and for the rest of the week is going to be venting. If they all know that, don't you think that maybe we have a right to say, man, maybe something needs to change?
Something does need to change. I don't think they're not just a right. Something that's a fact. I mean, you saw what they did today, or what lack of what they did today. Like, no, things need to change.
Is a sophomore, and he's already better than us.
Things need to change for the Dolphins, because I can't take this any longer. It's just this.
Have a good one, man.
You too, man, Cap. It's tough. Grieper, it's unacceptable that you can't beat a team that is a playoff team from the year before, a team that's going to be a playoff team this year. The Rams might do it. I don't know. Nonetheless, that you go in every time and it's cold and the numbers show it. I'm not sitting there trying to be loud and proud and trying to – the numbers show it. If it's cold or if they're a good team, you're very bad.
The thing is that would you rather be in the situation of that – you were getting your ass kicked in all these games, 30-point losers in these games, or you're basically at the point, as you can see in every single one of these. How many games have we lost 10 points or less this season?
Yeah, it's because we don't make the big plays.
And that's the situation that we're in right now. Is that every single one of these games, they had a chance to win.
If they'd have made a couple of plays here and there, clutch plays. Clutch teams make clutch plays. And you always say, oh, they got lucky, or the refs. You say that about Kansas City. Maybe they're just clutch. And teams that aren't clutch don't make the clutch plays. And you say that about the Dolphins. Maybe they're just not clutch. Tyreek Hill, catch that pass. Don't let him steal it from you. Tua, throw it a little bit more into a window that Tyreek can catch. Don't miss an extra point. I mean, there's all these things. Make plays, because clutch teams make plays. Not clutch teams don't make clutch plays. And then you lose 20-12, scoring only 12 points. Also, that was not very good. Not good.